Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Still Cavazos here. I'm Anthony.
I'm Casey.
And today we're watching our final episode of Tiger King.
So we asked you all on a poll if you wanted to see us react to this 8th episode that they added, just to see if it was really worth, because we were going to watch it anyway, but we wanted to know if it was worth, you know, like the whole filming, editing process, and you all actually voted yes. So we're excited to share this with you.
Yeah.
We do know that this is not like the other episodes. It's more of a interview type, you know, just after the fact. We don't even have some of the more main characters in here. But that's okay, because hopefully we'll get some good extra information, kind of see like a where are they now.
Yeah. I want to know what anyone's going to have to say about Joe. I want to know what, because obviously I don't think Joe's, unless they call him in from prison, like maybe.
Yeah, I don't think he's in this.
Yeah, I don't know if they would allow that. So I'm curious if the zoo actually opened back up after, you know, Jeff mentioned that it was going to open back up and he lost a business partner. But, you know, a lot of other people are alluding to the fact that, you know, he might, you know, eventually be looked after for something bigger that might be happening with the feds. I wonder if he's going to pop up in this particular episode. Honestly, other major questions too, because I know they mentioned it over there with Doc had his land raided. I want to see if he's in here too. Yeah, because they didn't really specify like what happened to him after the fact. So I want to see, like, you know, is that even, is his land, is his property still functional? Like, does he still have it working? All right, well, if you haven't already, please make sure to like and subscribe, hit that bell so you can stay notified for all of our future videos, and let's jump into this next one.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, it's me, Joel McHale. And as you're all aware, we're currently in the midst of a global pandemic, Tiger King fever, of the Tiger King saga.
So Jeff is in this.
I want to know what they all have to say after, like, the notoriety of the show, too.
How are you, man?
Oh, just living clean, loving Jesus. What's up with you? I haven't seen it. I really haven't.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen it.
10 similants of ammunition for, you know, some of the things that come out of people's mouths, or the memes or memes or whatever they're.
Memes?
Memes?
You need to tell Jeff and Lauren to give you a couple hours off to start in on this.
Oh, so he works for Jeff and Lauren now?
You know, those cats trusted me up until the end, and somehow, sometimes, I swear, they're like, dude, you let me down, kind of thing. You know, I can see it in their face and their eyes.
When you have to do that to a cat, they
like
assume
that,
there's
though,
a medical or something's going on with the cat that it can't continue to live.
You would think, but no.
Oh.
Even before all this happened, Jeff asked me once, I mean, point blank, where do my loyalties lie? And, you know, without hesitation, I said, my loyalty, I don't care about you, I don't care about Joe. I am here for the cats.
Well, that's good.
Joe was just he was an asshole, man.
But do you think Joe should be free? Do you think he should be a free man?
No. Not no, but fuck no.
Oh, wow.
No matter what everybody else says, okay, you know, yeah, my teeth are jacked up. I'm sorry. I'm old, man. It's what happens. It's what's going to happen to you, too. And no, I don't do meth. I never have. I like sleeping too much. I used to have a drinking problem. Now I do not. So, fuck all y'all, man.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, that's good for him.
Yeah.
And how's the nanny working out?
The nanny's excellent.
Hot.
Yeah, she's excellent.
What the I didn't actually think that they would go through it. I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
Villain is right here.
You did say, Jeff, everybody starts out well with you and ends bad.
All these guys come to me when they're in trouble, like Joe. And then as soon as I help them and I no longer help them, they turn on me. You know, I'm getting used to it.
I don't know where you found Alan, but he's the most terrifying person I've ever seen on camera.
You know, he's the kindest, he's the sweetest hitman you ever could.
Sweetest hitman?
This is complete crock of shit. You guys saw all the videos that Joe was posting. Joe was his own worst enemy. I mean, he should have gotten up on the stand and testified against himself, because those videos where he's shooting Carol, hanging Carol, blowing Carol up, putting rattlesnakes in her mailbox. Who's gonna finish this bitch? Who's gonna go get this bitch? Joe didn't get set up. Joe killed the tigers. He admitted to killing the tigers from jail.
And they were healthy tigers, by the way. They were 2 to 3 years old.
He said that they were sick. They were beautiful, healthy tigers that he called over to the fence, and he shot them in the head because he needed the cage space. So Joe goes out there and he makes the room for these cats by killing 5 beautiful, healthy tigers. Well, we're getting reports that he's trying to get to a computer so he can respond to his fans. You know, this is the notoriety and fame that Joe always wanted.
Respond to his fans.
And it's pretty ironic that now he's stuck in a cage.
Did Joe realize how important you were to the zoo to keep it going?
I don't think so, because numerous times he had told me that I couldn't run the zoo, that I wouldn't know how to run the zoo. I mean, hell, he blew up my golf cart in my damn cabin. I mean,
He did?
What?
Yeah.
Cabin?
Everything I sacrificed was for the animals.
Joe admitted
to know. It seems like they
shooting
all
some
say
of the
that.
tigers outright. Were you outraged by that?
Yes, obviously I was. But at that point, it's out of my control. Joe always had a way of explaining his actions. So they were owed, they were injured, they were suffering, is what we got.
Saff, you identify as a man. Were you upset when they kept referring to you as she on the show?
I don't think it bothered me as much as it bothered everyone else.
But he didn't look at your right arm and start licking his chops or anything?
Not in front of me.
Kind of weird.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
I think justice was served, but I still don't want to see that man die in prison.
Oh.
The way they did this documentary, it's fair, it's balanced, and I just think it's a wonderful production.
Okay.
I mean, that's so hard to turn down, especially since I'm a political science major. I got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I got to hold baby tigers, lemurs, take care of baby tigers in my office. Thing is I had to go in that office every day and sit in that same chair and look at that bullet hole in the wall every day for a year and a half after Travis killed himself. And I never was able to get counseling because Joe didn't help me and neither did Jeff Lowe. So what my plan is hopefully I'm going to be able to raise some money, enough to get me some counseling, get on my meds. And once I'm back stable and ready to go, I want to jump back into campaigning for sure.
Aw, I hope he gets
gosh,
help.
Tragic moment of the whole show. When he walked in, was he talking to you?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking. He was telling me about his gun. Joe just bought him a Ruger. He said, hey, you know, a Ruger won't fire without a clip. And I said, really? And he said, yeah. And that right then he put the gun to his head and pulled the trigger to prove to me that it wouldn't fire without a clip. However, it must have had one in the chamber.
Do you think he had any intention of deliberately shooting himself in that moment?
No, because I was looking at him in the eyes when he did it, and I could see the surprise and the fear in his eyes. I could see basically
That's
translated,
so
he's like, oh crap,
terrifying.
what did I just do? I mean, and maybe 5 seconds of his eyes, I could read it, and then he was gone.
Goodness.
Yeah, that is just like so terrifying.
Do you think Carol's Sanctuary, as it's called, do you think that's a better setup than Joe's Zoo, or do you see them as pretty much the same?
They're the same. They're all the same. All these animal folks are the same.
That's kind of the vibe I got.
But as you're about to see, that's all changed. Well,
he's got
some of
his
that's
teeth.
changed.
Oh,
Here's
yeah.
John Finlay.
I saw
Now,
it.
there's some...
Oh my gosh.
He looks so good.
He does.
Oh, that's right. You're wearing a shirt. No, I'm kidding. Your teeth look amazing.
They look good.
Yeah.
A lot of people are dissing the tattoo artist.
Really?
Oh yes, they are dissing my tattoo artist like hardcore.
Why?
Because in the documentary they showed it not finished.
Oh, yeah, but...
Were there a lot of people hooking up at the zoo?
From what I understand, yes. And I've seen a lot of relationships form because of it, and I've seen a lot of relationships end because of what was going on.
Clearly not his voice. There's been tons of press about it not being his voice.
That is not him singing.
Okay, exactly.
You know
There was no way in the fuck that was his voice.
This is just the newspaper that came out yesterday. Two pages of my picture on the front page. It's him Norway.
Hopefully he could use some of this fame to recoup that money he never got.
I would say that Joe Exotic is more evil and Bill O'Reilly is more of just an asshole. And Joe went up and started giving her a hug. She said, Joe, can you please take care of my horse? He needs to go out to pasture and he's old and can you give him a good life? And Joe's like, oh, I have plenty of land. Of course we will. And she cried, and he said, just unhitch the horse trailer, and we'll bring it back to you tomorrow. We'll give the horse a great little life out here. No sooner did that lady get off the park than Joe said, Rick, follow me. Walked right up to the horse trailer, pulled the Western revolver out of his holster, shot the horse dead, and said, I don't take care of nobody's animals. Now they're tiger meat. And he had the horse cut up and fed to the tigers. I'll be honest with you, I don't think Joe Exotic will leave prison alive. I don't think he'll be able to stand it. Even if he got out with good behavior in 10, 12 years, he won't live that long. I'll tell you what's really eating him up is people like me who are getting so much attention instead of him. Joe was terrified of big cats. He was scared to death of lions and tigers. I will never get over. I still have nightmares, Joel. I still have nightmares today. I had nightmares last night, and since this docuseries has been back, I've had more nightmares about having lived on that park. I want to put this chapter away, but it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
There you have it. I hope this satisfied your hunger for more stories from the wild world of Tiger King, that there is no job offer that I'll turn down.
I thought he's the one who sought this out.
Yeah.
So a couple things that I took from this, everyone's at fault.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the series kind of made you, just because Joe, it was about Joe, it's kind of like, you have to look at it and take it with a grain of salt. Even though he is the protagonist of this show, he's not a protagonist. And it seems like a lot of people had that same thought process. And obviously, a lot of people are saying the exact same thing about Joe in regards to like killing these animals. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And like, you know, I'm going to have to decide on believing them, at least for right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's in jail, so there's a reason for that.
Right. I know, it's crazy how, like, so many people said that he would just kill the animals, and that's just, I mean, I'm inclined to believe them, obviously, because all of them said it, and why would they lie about that, you know, I don't know.
I feel like a couple things you have to take with a grain of salt, because obviously, it's one side of this, the equation, and it's not both. Obviously, Joe is in jail right now. There's a couple things there, you know, about having his fans like run his Facebook pages and stuff like that, and you know, there's a little bit of conflicting information in regards to like, is he still communicating? Is he not?
Can he? How would he have contact with Facebook fans? You know,
I mean, I guess maybe he could be writing letters to his fans, and they're running the Facebook pages, and maybe they're just including screenshots or something of like comments or just who knows what.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
he seems like he'd be the type of person to figure out how to like hear about his fame in some way or form. It just seems like so Joe Exotic that he would know that he's famous and that he would still find a way to eat it.
I bet he likes the fame. I mean, I'm sure he likes the
Obviously,
fame.
we saw him before he was in jail, and like everyone who's involved in this show said the fame that came from this and like the notoriety of Joe Exotic is just at an astronomical level that there was no way he could have ever anticipated. Right. And it is so ironic too in the fact that, you know, he is like in jail and he can't enjoy it to the fullest form. I think is just like, it's crazy. Mm-hmm. So another thing too, they always kept mentioning who would play these characters in movies or in a show, movie, whatever the case may be. Nicolas Cage was cast as Joe Exotic.
So that's cool.
Yeah, I want to know.
I can see it.
I mean, Nicolas Cage plays like obviously just the weirdest character. So like, why wouldn't he play this character?
I wonder what the rest of them are going to be.
Who's going to play Jeff? Who would play Jeff?
I don't know.
Damn, I can't even think of anyone off the top of my head.
That's cool that they're going to make it into a series, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. I wonder what or not series or a show, you know what I mean, like reenactment. Yeah. I wonder what they're going to be focusing on.
Yeah, you know, there's so many elements you can. Yeah.
And to fit it into like a movie or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it'll be a movie, a series. I didn't really read the specifics yet.
I'm assuming it's a movie.
They did do, what I saw was a deep fake. Are you familiar with deep fakes where they put Nicolas Cage on it? And it's just like, it's so funny because obviously it still has Joe Exotic's voice, but like those deep fakes now, it's just crazy what some of the stuff they could do with like this technology. And it just like mimics it just so crazily. Minus like his like handlebar mustache thing going on because it was his face on Joe Exotic's face. But I think Nicolas Cage will do it a really, really good job. Yeah. Starting to watch the documentary and then to go back and either watch the movie or show. It'll be fun to compare it and contrast it after the fact.
Well, thank you all so much for coming on this Tiger King journey with us. Thank you for everyone.
The craziest one yet.
Yeah, thank you for everyone who voted in our poll as well. That really helps us out. And I guess we'll see you next time. We really enjoyed it. We've enjoyed reading all your comments, and just thank you for all of your insight.
Yeah.
And
we also really enjoyed like stepping into this new realm of documentaries, reacting to documentaries too. It was new for our channel, and it's something that if you really enjoyed, please let us know because it's something that we'd really like to continue to do.
All right. Well, if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell so you can stay notified for our future videos. And we'll catch you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.